Hey guys, welcome back to our urban homestead. I'm going to be making sauerkraut. This will probably be a shorter video, but making sauerkraut sounds complicated. It's not. It's very, very, very easy. So I've got 1 pound of cabbage in my bowl. For every pound of cabbage, you want 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of salt. I find that 2 teaspoons is a bit too salty for my taste, but the more you experiment and make your own sauerkraut, the better feel you'll get for what you like. I use 1.5 teaspoons per pound of cabbage. So I've got that salt here. I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle that onto your cabbage and then just give it a little mix. And then you're gonna let this sit for 15 minutes and I'll be right back. Okay, our cabbage has rested with the salt on it for 15 minutes. Now what we're gonna do is you wanna massage this cabbage for about 5 minutes with your hands. This is, in my opinion, a very important step to the sauerkraut making. This is honestly probably the hardest part of it, is just sitting here and massaging it, getting all of that salt in, and this is gonna help create our brine that we want. It's gonna help the cabbage release a lot of its moisture and so on. So I'm gonna do that for 5 minutes. I will put you on a time lapse so you don't have to sit here and watch me. If anything, it's a good workout for your arms. Okay. Can you see all of that brine and just how much this has all shrunk down? That's what you want. And so this is not like a large batch of sauerkraut, but I had 1 pound of cabbage left over and I didn't want it to go to waste. So obviously you can do this on a much larger scale. But I thought I would show you how easy it is for someone who has maybe never made their own sauerkraut and is interested in doing that. So I've got a quart jar here and you're just gonna pack that kraut in. Now you can add caraway seeds. I'm not a fan of sauerkraut with caraway. I'm not a big fan of caraway, period. I like just plain, old-fashioned, nothing fancy sauerkraut. You can add carrots, I think my grandma made sauerkraut with onions, but I just like it plain, no frills. All right, and then you want to really pack that down in there. Try to get the little bits that your large hands get all over the place. Okay, so all of this brine that it created naturally is going to get poured in. You want to make sure that the cabbage is completely submerged. And yes, I have to get some of those little bits off. Anything that is not completely submerged will mold. If you guys have watched me for any amount of time, you know that I ferment a lot of foods. I don't have those fancy weights. Maybe one day I'll ask for some from April or something, but I like to use things that I already have on hand So I just don't feel the need for, like, you know, to buy something separate when I have plenty of things that I can use here. Now, I've already shown you how you can just do it with a zip top baggie and water, but you can also get like some of those pebbles from a florist shop or even the dollar store and use that to weigh them down. Or I had a pretty, if I don't say so myself, pretty brilliant idea. I have this old flower frog. If you don't know what a flower frog is, this normally sits at the bottom of a vase and you put your flower stems in here. Now this has been washed and sanitized, but I thought that would make a perfect fermenting weight. Why didn't I think of that before? So we're gonna try it. Even though it's been washed and sterilized, I'm still gonna put it in this baggie and I'll just reuse that baggie later. I'm gonna take a spatula and just make sure. So if your cabbage is not fully submerged, which I think I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of brine, that's very simple too. All you need is 1 teaspoon of salt per cup of water. And I mean, guys, that's it. Like, I'll have sauerkraut and I'll check it in about 2 weeks. This will go into my pantry room. I am gonna set it inside of a bowl in case we have any spillage. Okay, so a little brine, just because I want to make sure that it stays fully submerged. Put my little baggie of weights in there. Fold that over. Throw my lid on it. And this, like I said, is gonna go into a bowl and then into my pantry. And I'll check it in 2 weeks. Give it a taste, and if not, I'll put it back in for another week. After the fermentation process, just go ahead and pop it in your fridge, and one of the many delicious fermented foods that are simple and not scary and very, very good for you. So that's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope if you have never made sauerkraut and you were interested, I hope you try it. It's very simple. So until next time, guys, abundance and blessings to you. Bye-bye.